All right, let's actually get to some stories going on here.
Hey, heads up, your favorite CEO that's allegedly a pedophile is also allegedly a murder threatener.
So what happened here? Because
Kotick is personally responsible for all sorts of abusive bullshit over the years at Activision Blizzard, including threatening to have an employee killed. And despite personally announcing the zero tolerance policy at Activision Blizzard for sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, or otherwise managerial abuse, it won't apply to him because there's no proof of this shit because it was 10 years ago. So everybody shut up. And people are organizing like there's a petition for a total walkout. Like, I'm going to quit if Kotick stays. That the last I checked was up to like 2,000 people. And that's like 25% of the entire company.
So there's a multi-part story here to this, of which I will actually say that I have to give credit to this is left field, but Min, because at one point, because as you know in Dokapon, you beat somebody, you can take their weapons, items, money, whatever you're doing, and at one point, Min beat Reggie, and he changed his name to Bobby Kotick.
Oh my god.
And it was the worst mental damage we have ever seen in the history of Dokapon. Like, I can't believe
That's so fucking filthy. Oh my
unbelievable.
God.
What, like, people say I'm an asshole. Fuck. It was wild. It was wild. Shit's getting crazy over there. But anyway, multi-part story, of course. Bobby Kotick has been, a fucking shitheel CEO for years, and every time you kind of hear shit about him, it's like not new or surprising. There's been an entrenched buildup where over the course of pretty much the last 30 years or so,
less than that, but a while.
It feels like forever. But like, he's basically gotten in his crew of people around him as the board of directors, and they're the ones that decide on everything.
And they're deep. They're deep in there. Like, they're not going anywhere.
It's beyond deep. It's like he literally got them, like, they're his protection. They're his armor, mm-hmm. Right? They're only there because he handpicked his boys, and also like they've also gotten gangbusters rich off of him as well. Yes, so it's like he's entrenched and built this throne. So that explains why when over 1,500 Activision Blizzard employees sign a petition calling for him to leave, none of that actually has weight because it's just down to the 10 people who are the ones that'll decide. Of course, there's an amount of pressure you would assume that will eventually cause the situation to crack. But for the first couple days, there was nothing going on. It seems like you can't forcibly remove him, and no matter how many people, like that's like on over. You're saying close to 2,000 now. It's insane.
It's 1,800 right now. And the entire company is 9,200 people, 90 something. It's like 9,000, 10,000 people.
And so it is 30. It is 30 years, by the way. He's been there for 30 years. Wow. And for the longest while, it's been a situation where it's like, okay, so he's known about bad things. He's known about harassment, sexual misconduct, all kinds of allegations and stuff over the years. And then it's like, also he's been a part of these stories, and also he's been a part of the cover-ups of these stories. And
he's also been specifically named as a guy who would explicitly make the problems go away for sex abusers or abusive people in power, managers, etc. There was an old story where, like, he was so incensed that a flight attendant was sexually harassed by a pilot on his private plane that he engaged in a multi-year, multi-million-dollar lawsuit specifically just to get her fired. Like, dude's a psycho.
And it's been always clear with, like, the practices in terms of just, like, game management, legal shit, buying IPs, like weird Guitar Hero Rock Band stuff. You already kind of knew, but like, yeah, and then as well as the Call of Duty shit back in 2010. Like, it's been known, but like ever since back then, like he kind of basically knew that like he would need to be insulated against all kinds of board of director pressures and things like that, and completely reshape the entire decision making body to be his cronies, you know?
Yeah.
So right, all of that reported on tons of places here, and there's a big like Schreier write up as well. But he did reply eventually with a statement saying that he will consider quitting if he cannot fix the company culture. That's fucking insane coming from someone.
He was wearing a hot dog suit at the time.
What's that from?
I don't know, but it's a guy in a
I
hot
don't know
dog
what the source
suit
on that picture
crashes
is.
like a hot dog car into a building, and they're all like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "We're all trying to find out who did this." As a fucking room of people are just staring at him.
Like I'm curious what the source is on that, but anyway, yeah, it's kind of fucking insane to hear him go like, "All right, well, you know, I'm considering it." If I think you should leave. I've been meaning to watch that. I hear it's pretty funny. Okay. Anyway, considering leaving the company when you had literally 30 years in charge, where you could make all of these things happen, but instead you exacerbated these problems. It's
Wooly,
one of them.
I only found out about it.
I just found out.
Like
yeah,
3 weeks ago.
No. I mean,
also, I investigated myself and found out that I didn't do anything wrong.
Like all the memes of him being painted as the devil and all that shit is like. He's one of.
Do you remember the article in which he described how much it upset him that he would always get,
of course, yes,
girls
it made it hard to go on dates. Yes,
girls that would meet him, that would look on, that he would go on a date with, would look him up online and see that he was a devil. And the part that they must have cut from that interview is that they were worried that their teachers would see them hanging out with the devil and not give them a good grade 8 report.
Wonderful. There you go. Yeah, that's why.
That was why.
That's why. Poster boy scumfuck CEO of a video game company whose name was literally in Epstein's black book. It's every fucking awful thing you can possibly imagine that we know about, much less what we don't. But that's the reply to close to 2,000 employees is, I'll consider it if we can't address the company culture, fix the culture problems. And
do you know why he actually said that?
Because you can't claim ownership of a problem without being legally responsible in America?
No, the reason why he actually...
The buck stops here is a legally binding statement?
The reason why he actually mentions possibly leaving is that Activision is actually getting way more flack than usual for this kind of scumbag behavior.
Interesting.
In that we had Phil Spencer, Jim Ryan, and now Doug Bowser at Nintendo literally 10 minutes ago releasing statements or emails saying that they are all seriously reconsidering their relationship with Activision over this stuff. They are all tugging their collars.
Okay.
And going, I don't know about this shit, man.
So this time, as opposed to the last 8, the water pressure on the dam is a little too much.
It's a lot.
Interesting.
That's why you're getting a statement at all, right?
Because
I gotta fix it.
We've watched
instead of just shut up.
Fucking exactly. Like we've watched the fucking armor layers, the Wall Maria Rose fucking risen up around him for years now, where it's like it's been every single controversy has just been like, yeah, just tank it. Doesn't matter. Say nothing. Tank it. Everyone hates it. Activision, but whatever. We continue.
Now I want to give a little golf clap here to Phil Spencer, Jim Ryan, and Doug Bowser for condemning Bobby Kotick and Activision and giving a little veiled threat to the company right after the only game they're releasing for the 6-month period in both fiscal quarters came out and did 80% of its lifetime sales, and they're not actually putting anything out until like 2 quarters from now. It's really good that they waited till Call of Duty made its money to make these statements.
Nothing actively going to be fucked up by the process.
Nothing going to be actually damaged by these
All right,
kind of thing.
All right, that calendar. Good shit.
Literally looking at the fiscal calendar.
Looking
going,
at the fiscal quarter.
And frown now.
Oh man. But to be perfectly honest, I think, you know, we've watched him survive everything and anything. I'm kind of shocked that it feels as if it's different this time. I'm really honestly kind of shocked.
I can't remember this ever seeing Nintendo weigh in on scumbag CEOs from other companies.
Ever.
That's weird.
Yeah. That and like I didn't see that update that you just dropped because it just happened.
That's literally scrolled past that on Twitter 5 minutes ago.
That is a huge difference then if you're seeing it coming from other people in the industry and other professionals and other hardware manufacturers especially. That's massive. Now what happens if he says fuck you anyway, sticks around, takes all the bad will, and then the next game gets lined up on the calendar? Do we see the walk back, or do we see the, well, I said I was considering, and who knows what that means, right? But anyway.
I don't know. As per an email given to Fanbyte, Nintendo President Doug Bowser addressed the Activision Blizzard harassment reports last week in an internal email, which references actions taken with more options on the table. So this is not even a public statement. This is an internal statement.
To be perfectly honest, realistically, if it gets to the point where it is very obvious that him being there fucks with the money, the shareholders will not accept him still being there. Right? That's what it comes down to. Is like, he's been there for 30 years, he's made them their money, and if it ever becomes a problem of goodwill overthrowing the amount that they can make on a quarter, then they will absolutely, the wolves will turn on him on that in that regard, because it's fucking with the money, which is the only reason why we're riding with you to begin with. The
Nintendo thing is actually fairly interesting compared to the others. The others were Phil and Jim just talking to, you know, people. This is internal, sent on Friday. Email went out to every level of Nintendo America, including internal development houses like Retro and newly acquired Next Level. Quote, along with all of you, have been following the latest developments at Activision. Reports of sexual harassment, toxicity. I find these accounts distressing and disturbing. They run counter to my values and Nintendo's. Goes on to explain that Nintendo is committed to having an open and inclusive workplace. Remarks that the company holds itself to these standards and expects the same from their partners. They say they have been in contact with Activision, have taken action, ? And are assessing others. He does not elaborate as to what those actions actually are. And then goes on to mention that they are talking to the ESA, which them and Activision are members of, about possible solution. Wait. Says Nintendo's been working with the ESA as of at least last week to strengthen stances on harassment and abuse in the workplace, and is demanding that the ESA must hold its members to the highest standard.
I want to put
That's more than nothing.
That is significantly more than nothing. The fact that it's happening again at that level, that's never happened before with any of these. It's happened at that level when the company versus Activision was in their crosshairs with a lawsuit, or the IP in particular, but it's never happened at general with people on the sidelines commenting on what's happening. So
yeah, Nintendo is making calls and talking shit.
I want to put something down on paper and have it for the record mentioned. I suspect that things going the way they are right now, this severance package.
Oh, it's gonna be lit.
This severance, this parachute will be the most unquestionable, ridiculous, egregious, soft, mountain, inflated landing package. You have epic, legendary,
they are gonna have to cancel
genre-defining, coming of a new word for the level of this severance package.
Oh man, oh yeah, oh good.
We are walking with a 2-digit percentage of the company in my pocket.
Now I want to raise my hands here and say, hey, Doug Bowser, if you are actually going behind Activision's back and talking shit to people that could get them in trouble, good on you. But I would like to translate something for the folks at home because I can't help it. When Nintendo says we don't agree with these kinds of practices and we want the highest value, the highest standards for our employees, toxicity, you know, all that nice stuff. What they're actually saying is, Activision, shut the fuck up. This is bad for business. I don't care what you fuckers are doing. Make it stop getting out. And if that includes stopping the behavior, great. If that includes killing people who talk, yeah, I didn't see nothing.
So that's those business partners and the shareholders, mind you. Utter chaos. We'll see. If the story develops, literally as we speak, new things come out. We'll see how high that number gets as far as employees go. And we'll see if it gets to the point of, you know, investors. But really, this severance package, though.
It's going to be so good, dude. It's going to be so good.
Like, I'm seeing, like, the Icarus landing system will be involved on this severance package.
It's very easy.
Negative fall damage will apply. You will heal upon landing with this package, though.
It's really easy to just mentally turn this into mobsters. It's like, Bobby No Touch. He's been a good earner. He's been a great earner. Okay, but he got a big mouth. He talks too much. Causes trouble. Getting attention. Don't like it. So, Bobby, you can either take this money and leave, or you can get left.
You can take a trip to Florida, or you can take a trip to Florida. Right? What's it gonna be? Yeah. But no, man. I am unbelievably. I'm almost excited to see how much he's gonna get for leaving.
I just saw somebody in the chat just, oh no, Bobby committed suicide.
He got suicided.
Oh no, I can't believe
geez.
it. He hung himself and then he shot himself in the back of the head. Bing, oh, we must have been so sad.
Turns out he was good friends with the guy that was in Epstein's cell, his cellmate.
Oh my God! What a coincidence!
Big buddies. He came to visit at the house. You know, and the prince wanted to hang out too. The prince came.
And then his ghost burned his house down. That's crazy.
Came to visit.
I can't believe it.
Don't fuck up the count.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up the count. Hey, 9-year-old child, how come you're so good at the count, but you can't do your math homework?
So you fuck up the count, they fuck you up.
They fuck you up.
That's it.
They fuck you up. Yeah, all right.